Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Richard and welcome back to another weekly watch list video. Overall, I have 13 stocks on my radar for this upcoming trading week, and for each of them we'll go through the fundamental analysis in Marketsmith, which is sponsoring this video, and then we'll head over to TC2000 and talk about the entry setup that I would use for each of these stocks. So starting with AMD, which has been on this list before, you can see nice strong earnings growth, exactly what I like to see, triple digit earnings growth last quarter, up 200%, sales up 40%, and you've got very strong estimates for our earnings for 2020 and also for 2021. And you can see the overall EPS rating is a 99, the group RS is an A+, the SMR rating is an A, the accumulation distribution is a C, and that overall composite rating is a strong 99. Taking a look at the fund ownership, you can see a nice increasing trend the past 2 years, and you can see you've got 3 high quality funds investing into AMD. So moving on, we've got TER or Teradyne Inc. And you can see that it had a nice earnings report last quarter, up 85% for earnings and sales up 43% as well. And you can see it's making its way up the right-hand side of this cup right now, but you've got a potential pivot breakout right here. And we'll go over the specifics in TC2000. Overall for 2020, the estimates are up 7%, which isn't substantial growth, but it is substantial that the estimates are up. You're not seeing a lot of that these days. And for 2021, you can see the estimates are up another 16%, which is always a good thing. And you can see the EPS rating is a 98, the group RS is an A-, SMR rating is an A, accumulation distribution is a C, and the overall composite rating is again a strong 99. And taking a look at the fund ownership, you can see again a nice increasing trend, and you have 3 strong funds investing in this stock. Next up, we've got Mercury Systems, or MRCY, and taking a look at the chart, you can see a nice long consolidation right here. That's a stage 1. That's great. And you can see it tried to break out, but it fell right back below that pivot, and right now it's challenging once more. Overall, the earnings growth isn't the strongest, but you do have an increasing trend right here. And last quarter, you can see they reported up 22% for earnings and sales up 19%. Taking a look at the annual estimates, you can see for 2020, you can see they're up 17% with the estimates being up. And also for 2021, the estimates are up a further 10%. The EPS rating is a 96, the group RS is a C+, SMR rating is a B, accumulation distribution is a C-, and the overall composite rating is a 96. Taking a look at the funds, you can see once again a nice increasing trend. This is always what I like to see. And once again, you have 3 high quality funds investing into this stock. Next up on the list, we've got Tesla, which after its huge run up had a deep correction, but it's now recovered and is challenging all-time highs once more. Overall, the earnings last quarter were pretty strong, up 143%, sales were up 32%, and you can see the annual estimates are very strong as well. For 2020, you're supposed to jump from 2 cents all the way up to 3.71 cents. And for 2021, you're supposed to have $12.91 per share. And that's really, really strong annual growth. The EPS rating is a 65. The group RS is an A+. The SMR rating is a C. The accumulation distribution is a B-. And the overall composite rating is a 97. Taking a look at the fund ownership, you can see once again a nice increasing trend. And you have these high quality funds investing into Tesla. So moving on, we've got Lululemon, and you can see that they've been posting really strong earnings and sales growth, very consistent. And last quarter, you were up 23% in terms of earnings. Sales were up 20% as well. And you can see for the annual estimates, they are down for this year, but the revisions are up. And for 2022, they're supposed to jump right back up 33%, which is substantial growth. Overall, the EPS rating is a 96, the group RS is a C-, the SMR rating is an A, accumulation distribution is a A-, and the overall composite rating is a 95. Taking a look at the fund ownership, a nice increasing trend, and you've got 4 high quality funds investing into Lulu. Next up on the list, we've got a recent IPO, Ping, which has been on this list before. It posted very strong earnings last quarter, and you can see it's right in this tight consolidation under this 27.17 pivot. Overall, the earnings last quarter were up 100%, sales were up 22%, and you can see from the annual estimates that they are supposed to be down for 2020, but they're supposed to jump right back up 67% in 2021. The EPS rating is an 80, the group RS is an A+, the SMR rating is a C, accumulation distribution is a B-, and that overall composite rating is a 97. For the fund ownership, you can see a big jump in funds given that's a recent IPO, but you don't have any high quality funds investing into Ping as of yet. Next up, we've got EBS, or Emergent Biosolutions, and you can see it's right above that pivot that it broke out of a couple of days ago. And overall, the earnings are very strong. Last quarter, up 110%. Sales were up only 1% though. And taking a look at the annual estimates, they're supposed to be up for 2020, up 20%, and for 2021, up a further 12%, although the revisions are downwards. The EPS rating is a 90, the group RS is an A+, the SMR rating is an A, accumulation distribution is an A-, and the overall composite rating is a 96. Taking a look at the fund ownership, not much growth there, and you can actually see it's been decreasing. So this isn't the most promising picture, but then again, with this rapid run up and this huge volume coming in, most likely institutions took up shares right at this time. So take a look for another breakthrough of this 83.01 pivot on above average volume. So next up on the list, we've got Beyond Meat, which is a new one for this list. And you can see that the earnings were up 103% last quarter, sales were up 141%, and you can see the sales growth has been very strong the past few quarters. Taking a look at the annual estimates, it's supposed to be positive for 2020, and you can see for 2021 further growth up 250%. So that's very strong. And overall, the EPS rating is a 69, the group RS is an A, SMR rating is a C, accumulation distribution is a A-, the composite rating is a 94. And let's take a look at the fund ownership, a nice increasing trend for an IPO, and you have one high quality fund investing into Beyond Meat. Next up, we've got Vertex, which was on my list from this past week. You can see nice earnings report up 125%, sales were up 76%, and you can see the annual estimates are very, very strong. For 2020, up 63%, for 2021, up 25%, and revisions are up. The EPS rating is a 99, the group RS is an A+, the SMR rating is an A, accumulation distribution is a B-, and the overall composite rating is a 99. Taking a look at the fund ownership, a nice increasing trend over the past 2 years, and you have 4 high quality funds investing into this stock. And the last stock on my list is Work, or Slack Technologies, and you can see that they are not yet profitable, but that sales growth is very, very strong. Taking a look at the annual estimates, they are not supposed to be profitable anytime soon, and that overall EPS rating is a pretty bad 3. But the group RS is an A+, and this has been a very strong group. The SMR rating is a D, the accumulation distribution is a B, and the overall composite rating is a 71. So not very strong ratings compared to the other stocks on my list. Taking a look at the funds, you can see a nice increasing trend though, and you've got 4 high quality funds investing into this stock, and you can see it just broke out above these prior pivots on above average volume. So now that we've talked about the fundamentals of all these stocks, let's head over to TC2000 and go through the entry setup that I would use for each of them. So starting with AMD, it already had a Bollinger Band bounce and also a green dot. So this is actually actionable based on that green dot setup on Monday. So if it increases on above average volume, that would be the entry signal for me. And overall, it's right near all-time highs and a nice long-term uptrend, exactly what I like to see. Moving on, we've got Beyond Meat, which has been moving up rapidly on above average volume. And you can see that the setup that I would use is a breakthrough of this 135 pivot right here on above average volume. That's a pretty good setup, and I would like to see it nearer to all-time highs, but it's moving up there and has overcome a lot of resistance to make it this far, indicating institutional support. Moving on, we've got EBS, which has just broken above a green line and has been consolidating. So I really like this setup. And what I would use is either a breakthrough of this prior high of the short-term base or potentially a green dot setup. Next up, we've got ENPH, which is an old favorite of mine. And once again, it's moved up quite strongly after this deep correction, and it's now challenging for all-time highs. So that would be my buy, a breakthrough of this 59.15 level on above average volume. And you're seeing some nice volume patterns right here, with the up volume being much higher than the low volume. And moving on, we've got Lulu, and you can see once again it had a green dot on this past Friday, so it is actionable based on a green dot setup for the first 2 days of next week. And you can see it's right near this 247 pivot. So either one would be a good Good setup, I think, a good low risk entry, but I probably personally would wait until it breaks through this 247.51 level. Moving on, we've got Mercury Computer Systems, and you can see it also had a green dot on this past Friday, so I'd either use that setup or a breakthrough into new all-time highs above this 96.29 level on above average volume. Next up on the list, we've got Netflix, which also has been consolidating nicely after it broke through this pivot right here. And this is probably one of my favorites on this list to watch. And I do actually own this stock. I got in right at this green dot. So I would want to see a breakthrough into all-time highs on above average volume, similar to what we saw back here. Next on the list, we've got Ping, which is another recent IPO. And it had a nice Bollinger Band entry right here and a green dot recently as well. And after a gap down on its earnings report, it had a nice positive reversal, so a good shakeout right here. So I would either use a breakthrough this 26.31 level or also this prior high, which is at 27.17. So that would be my entry, a breakthrough that on above average volume. Moving on, we've got TER or Teradyne Inc. And you can see I also want to see a breakthrough the 67.54 level on above average volume, although it is actionable on a green dot setup on early next week. And you can see a nice bounce off this lower Bollinger Band here after a tight squeeze. So this is a nice setup, and look for it to break through this pivot on above average volume. Next on the list, we've got Tesla, which also had a green dot recently on this past Thursday. It has a nice Bollinger Band squeeze going on, and I want to see it break through this 869 level on above average volume and ultimately challenge these previous all-time highs. Moving on, we've got TTD or the Trade Desk Inc. And you can see that after its earnings report, it also gapped down like Ping, but had a strong reversal on huge volume. These are not retail buyers buying. These are institutions taking up positions in this stock right near all-time highs. So look for a continuation of this positive expectation early next week. And you could either buy it on a green dot or a breakthrough of this prior all-time high, which is at 327.35. Next up, we've got Vertex Pharmaceuticals, which is right near all-time highs, just how I like it. And the setup that I would use is a breakthrough of this prior short-term pivot at the 277.80 level on above average volume. And finally, we've got Work or Slack Technologies, and you can see it finally managed to break out of this range right here that it had hit so many times, and look for a continuation on above average volume early next week or a pullback below the pivot, and then you can buy it once it finally moves up once more. So that is pretty much my watch list for this upcoming trading week. Please go ahead and leave a like down below if you enjoyed and found my analysis useful. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, let me know down below in the comment section. But that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in future videos.